Hey everyone, so here are just a few quick adjustments you can make to have your kettlebell snatch be a little more efficient and a little more friendly for heavy strength and power work. So if all you've done so far is like snatches for conditioning in sets of like 10 or more in like intervals, or like a 5-minute snatch test, or even the 10-minute snatch test, something like that, then maybe what you've been doing, while correct form, isn't going to be the most efficient for slinging something like half your body weight around in a kettlebell snatch. For if you're training something like A plus A, elliptic anaerobic intervals, or just more pure strength and power work. So this is not necessarily going to be like by the book, textbook form by any means, but it is safe, it is repeatable, and it is very efficient. All right. So first we're going to stop thinking about the kettlebell snatch as a swing that ends up overhead. We are not, having the bell out at arm's length, and we aren't projecting power forward. So if I think of the swing as more of a broad jump, I'm going to think about the snatch as more of a vertical jump where I'm projecting power upward. I'm also going to really try to tame the arc and keep the bell super close to my body. This is just going to make it much more efficient in terms of handling and counterbalancing really heavy weights when you start using them. So the first thing I do is I make sure that my stance isn't super wide. Personally, I take a moderate stance with my feet, maybe outside my hips, maybe just below my shoulders. And the first drill I think about is, so if I start with a jump and jump up, projecting up onto my toes, what I'm going to have you try to do is jump projecting force down through your heels. So I'm going to hip snap and pop, but instead of jumping up, I want to think about jumping down, so my weight's going down through my heels. Excuse me. So as I finish that hip snap, I am planked through my core, my glutes, my quads, everything, but the weight is pushing down through my heels aggressively. I am not trying to project it forward, it's just up and down. It's kind of the visualization. The other part that's going to really give you more power for your snatch, combined with this slightly narrower-ish stance, is going to be thinking about bringing your legs together. So as I hip snap, I think about squeezing my thighs together. So as aggressively as I can, I'm not thinking about pushing my hips forward. I'm thinking about squeezing my adductors and snapping my legs almost as though I were trying to bring them together. Now obviously your feet and legs won't move, but this is a really useful visualization that for me and others gives us a little more power than simply thinking about, I want to push my hips in this direction. It's a little snappier, and it'll help you force the bell into that closer, more vertical arc. Now, in terms of when the bell gets to about navel height, I am going to think about keeping it close to me and also getting it high up. So I am going to shrug and pull with my elbow out as close as I can before snapping into that locked out position, which I will have, my core tight and everything planked again, my shoulder locked into place. So it's not like I'm, catching the bell locked out like this. It's just to help me get it on its way. Same thing on the way down. Once I've locked it out, again, with the lockout, weight centered on my feet or maybe slightly biased toward my heels, my posture stacked, my shoulder compressed in its socket, I'm going to think about initiating the drop from my pinky and my wrist just slightly. So from above, it's going to do this a little bit, and from there I'm actually just going to think about dropping my elbow straight down. So if I had to trace the path of the bell, it would be something like this, and then once the drop is initiated, I'm going to think about just my elbow not even flaring out anymore, but dropping straight down, connecting to my ribs, back into the hinge. So this is really going to make it, as efficient as possible in terms of getting a big bell close to your body and adjusting your own weight to counterbalance it and catch it in a safe, secure position. I think that's most of the basics of just body position and form. Obviously, if you're watching this, hopefully you already know kind of the basics, and you can swing a bell and have it end up overhead. So this is all just cleaning it up. But the free arm is also going to help a great deal. So as I hike, or even just prepare for the next rep, I'm going to reach back. As I snap, I'm going to bring my hand up, and it's going to go back as I lock out overhead. Then it's going to reach it back again with me. So that is kind of the action of the free arm, and it'll help me add power to my hip snap. And then by going back, it'll make sure that I can reload this movement on the way down. So I'm not going to, like you might see some people trying to snatch heavy, and they'll swing their arm, it'll kind of like end up over here somewhere. If I can keep it close and tight, that'll help me kind of just mirror that action with the bell as well. All right, so I'm gonna do a couple reps here. The drill I like for this is just standing in front of a wall you don't care about. I'm gonna stand close enough that I can touch it with my fingertips. I am gonna pack my shoulder for this. I'm not going to twist or reach to give myself more room. So this is a heavy bell, but a relatively small space. Again, just make sure you don't care about the wall, okay? There you have it. So that's what a little bit of a heavier snatch might look like with a little bit more efficient form for you.